Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Episode 89 of the Download Queue, November 2nd, 2025, fresh off of the Halloween season. Kyle, Expedition 33 yourself, how are you doing?
Yes, that's what, wife and I did the baguette costume from Expedition 33. We thought we were mimes, and our daughter, who would not wear her beret more for like a minute, thought she was just a prisoner or something. It was fine. But we did do trick-or-treating at our house. We set up our car and said, let's just do this tonight. Let's see what the neighborhood does. And the first people that walked up, the guy was like, wait, you guys are Expedition 33? He knew exactly. So we only had one the whole day, but that guy knew. That was cool. Fun costume. Now I have a cosplay for a while.
See, in my head, I was hoping you just made the baby of the baguette, like the alphabet, instead of in like the triple costume, you know?
Yeah, no, I wanted to make a baguette, but I forgot to make I think that one is a Polish or it's a Biga. One of those. I gotta cook. I got a bread book. So.
Alrighty. I was like, those are words. That's good.
This is just a starter. That's it. It's the yeast. That's their proper name per the book. I'm just trusting what I read out of a book.
Yeah, that was good. They took costumes turned out good
nowadays.
Much better than my Monterey Jack.
Your duo costume.
Yeah, my duo Raz Monterey Jack. Big sad. It's hard, nursing home. No one's gonna know who the hell I am anyways. Try and do the descriptor and they're all asking questions. I'm like, you guys, to most people I was Amelia Earhart. Do you know historical accuracy? Sure, go ahead. Didn't work out. Next year though, full on Monterey Jack. I get the dog in a little fly costume to be Zipper. It's gonna work out. Repurposing.
I love the context of oh yeah, this man who works here is dressed up as Amelia Earhart. That's just what they thought. I love it. That's great.
That's the olds.
I kind of want to believe that's what you actually were.
Hop on board. Everyone else was. As mentioned, this is episode 89 of the Download Queue, your new favorite place for video game news, reviews, discussion, topics, whatever is going on in our lives we want to talk about. This week, Outer Worlds 2. First impressions. To some surprise. Excuse me? Had a sneeze, holding in a sneeze. And taking in the internet trends and going over the 10 games to get to know us. Which is way harder than I thought it was going to be, Kyle. I had to redo my list 4 times, but we'll get to that towards the end of the show. For now, before Call of Duty's here, before the final releases of the year are here, we have The Outer Worlds 2 from Obsidian, their third outing of the year. Thankfully, the final, because God, they need a break. Third outing of the year. We both supported capitalism last week, got into the early access time period, along with DLCs when those come out eventually, if we return to them. I know you are on differing opinions, maybe, and as the week has gone on, I feel I'm slowly joining you with your opinions. I want to hear from you, going into Outer Worlds 2, starting it off, where you're at now, overall thought.
Yeah, let me pull up my clock on it. So I have 5.5 hours, it says on the Xbox. So, menu sitting and whatnot, give or take an hour, I think is estimate, because it does not feel like full 5 hours I played. I think it's a really beautiful game. It looks awesome, but I just can't get out of the feeling that I've played it before. And I really think it's because I played Avowed this year and put a good chunk of time into that. I just am like, oh, I've played this. I have done this before. Obviously, it's different. It's space. You have guns. But for me personally, it's not the game I want to play right now. And I kind of just came to a full stop one night, dipped out, started playing other things, and have not looked back and have not missed it. So that's that. It looks cool. I think it played well. I like some of the I've seen online too that this gets expanded, but some of the flaws that can come up when you're playing. I got the active reload. I got Call of Duty reload all the time. I shoot one bullet, I'm reloading. What the hell? Like, why'd I waste that? But I'm always doing that. So the game gives me a flaw, and there's perks and benefits to or to that. And I saw another one. I saw two others. I don't remember off the top of my head what they were online, but two different things that for that person's play style gave them this role playing element that is a flaw for the character, but it's just it's just a character quirk. And I like that. But I have not put enough time into this game to really give a full impression. It feels really, really samey. And we also played Grounded, and I think that also adds to that element of just everything feeling kind of, yeah, your light just went off. That was creepy.
Yeah, I saw that. Boogie.
Halloween's here. But yeah, so I do look forward to getting back to it. I love Obsidian. That's part of why doing that early access thing wasn't a big deal to me, because I didn't realize they gave you both the DLCs. So for me, $15 for one DLC is worth it. So I'm more than down to hop in, support a studio that I really love. But yeah, mostly I wonder if it's just the fatigue also coming off of Assassin's Creed Shadows. I played and beat that in a month. So I wonder if it's just wrong time for me, but we'll see.
I was shocked when seeing you dip out almost immediately, because we were on kind of opposite spectrums going into this. Like, I got into the early access a little bit later, convinced me with the DLC thing, because otherwise I'm not going to play the DLC. I'll be upfront. I never touched the first ones. I never had that opportunity to. And yeah, the first 2 sessions, I would say, I was really digging it. Really into what they were doing. I liked the tone more. Setup felt better. The trait system, like you said, is something that I really started playing into immediately, where I was keeping notes on mine. I got that Call of Duty Reload one too that you got. They give you one for the early access consumerism. I got one that was, which in mine with my character, I was like, I'm going to play a high roller. Any opportunity, we're taking it. Chance everything we can. So I'm accepting every flaw, which is probably going to screw me at the end, where I'm not going to want to play. But I got one where easily distracted, where I can only add skill points into the lowest non-zero skill or one with no points, but I gain additional points per level, which is like, there's some trade-off. And then I got flawed, which plays into my character, where it's literally just, you must accept all flaws you get, but you get an extra perk every 5 levels. Like, that fits with what I'm doing. Again, probably bite me in the ass later. The negative traits, they have a system where you pick like your 3 main traits at the beginning of the game, or 2. If you pick 2, you have to pick a negative one to kind of counter them, which I was a little let down by. There's only 3 options, which I was expecting a lot more to pick from to kind of go build the character you want. I originally went with a negative trait was Sickly, which is minus 15% health regen and 15 toxicity, and immediately dropped. They gave you the option to like test your character again or change it before you start the actual game post tutorial section. I dropped a trait immediately to get rid of that, because that wasn't something I was ready to fully engage with, which I'm happy that's the one I did, because the gameplay itself, or gunplay I should say, and combat encounters are beating my ass. And you mentioned this to me on Discord too, like at the start it feels like a hard game, whether it be I've had more environmental deaths falling in water or jumping in places I wasn't supposed to, or being swarmed by enemies where, hey, I don't know if you got to kind of the first base you have to like sneak into to find, I forget her name, some character's like place she was hiding out in. But there's like a sneaky route, go around the mountain, come down, go through the roof of a building, and you're in the base and there's people guarding and whatever. And that was probably 2 hours of my playtime trying to mosey through there without being caught. Because if one person sees you, whole base is on you, pretty much immediate death because there's 10, 12 enemies jumping on you right away, which it's a weird balancing thing because you do have two companions you can pick from to bring with you. And you just kind of get overwhelmed. The gunplay doesn't have a lot of options. You don't really have, like with Avowed, your ability is to help counter things. It is just, hey, your two weapons, your companions have an ability, doesn't really do a lot to help because they got to recharge over time. Just, it leaves a bad feeling in my mouth, which I wanted to like this game going in. And since those two play sessions, like you, I've pretty much completed the first planet you land on. I've done pretty much everything, all the side quests. Like I've done that. I checked my time. I'm just under 10 hours. So W, but I've been playing other stuff. I've been playing a bunch of Ball Pit. I've been playing stuff on PC. Like it's not something I'm waiting to come home and get back to, waiting to jump back into to learn more, which sucks. Like don't want that to happen in any game, but something that you're turning around on at start, it's like,
Yeah. No, and I saw online people say it's, and some reviews I watched, it's this comment, it can feel slow at the beginning, but it just hasn't grabbed me either. And yeah, I attribute a lot to it of just playing other open world games, especially as Shadows right before it, playing Grounded, playing Avowed, and just it feeling the same, which is cool. I mean, I do appreciate that. Like as a studio, I think that is a efficient way and a good way going forward. But if Avowed came out last year and now we get Outer Worlds, would that have felt different for me? Probably, you know. So I don't think that ultimately hurts them. I'm going to get to this eventually. That's the beauty of Game Pass and how they know people engage with it. We'll see. Eventually, I do hope it hits because I feel like it really is more of a RPG game. It wants you to role play and it wants you to have like flaws. It gives you flaws constantly, right? That's part of the game, and I think leaning into that will be fun. I'm excited to hear. I want you to get back to it and keep going because I want to see how that playthrough goes of accepting everything of it. Whether by the end do you feel like, oh shit, I'm kind of powerful in my own way, or it's like, oh, I'm broken in a bad way. The game seems like that's a huge part of it. That system seems like it's a huge part of the game.
Yeah, and that I feel for me is going to be how much I get spoiled online. Because there's some I've seen people talk about where I'm like, that is something I never want to experience. Like, there's one, if you stare at the sun too long, like your whole game vision becomes blurry, but you get stronger in the sun. I'm like, I don't want visual impairments. Like, the fun back end stuff I can manage, but if it's like actually hindering how I'm able to play, like, nah, that I'll be restarting to save.
I love the commitment to it though, you know? So that sounds awesome, but yeah.
It's
unfortunately it didn't grab me.
The Avowed thing I think is very valid. Because to me,
it was the first planet in an open world. That first planet and the pink flowers, the purpley flowers, I was like, oh.
The
and
colors
the music
and art,
cuts in. And I was like, oh, I've like run around this world before.
Which I think is what I was expecting to be different, because that first you landed like, this feels like it was like, it feels like Avowed. It looks like Avowed. Where I don't know if I was expecting a different color palette, a different art style, or how things are designed, but the flora and fauna and like the natural elements, if you took away the guns and like the more techie kind of buildings and put me certain screenshots there, I probably wouldn't be able to tell. Like, it's that similar in design, which I kind of would like a little different. You know, you look at Bethesda with Elder Scrolls and Fallout, like those have their own distinctive styles. Starfield has its own distinctive thing. Or this, it's, hey, we did this with Avowed. Maybe that did help fast track Outer Worlds 2 faster than it needed to. And that's maybe an area that got kind of pushed aside, and we're going to use assets or similar color palettes or whatever it is to help get this game out faster. But I don't know. It's a shame. It's a shame.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if that, like, that's such a, I feel for me, a personal critique. Like I can't really put that against them because I think it is a smart business, especially in this current situation with game devs and developers constantly getting laid off. Yeah, you know what? Make it easier on yourselves, make it more efficient. You can, increase that money, that needed investment to make a game to, yeah, reuse assets. That's okay. Reuse the tech, reuse the idea within your studios, right? We know that's happening within Xbox Studios. That's awesome. Are we like, am I an outlier in feeling this? Like, so similar to Avowed and it's actually keeping me from playing it a little bit. Like how much of an outlier is that? We'll see. And how will that be an issue going forward for Xbox games where they start to feel similar? I mean, hey, whoa, isn't that what people are saying about PlayStation right now? They have the same revenge story and similar kind of third person stuff. So we'll see. Now I'm just going off into a thought piece.
I mean, it makes me feel less crazy because I feel like it's the same thing I've been echoing with Unreal Engine 5 and Expedition 33 earlier this year, where like it's got its own distinct style, but when you look at it like top level, it's very generic looking. It looks like every other Unreal Engine 5 game, and they all kind of start looking similar. And it just makes me want older generations where things were distinct. You could look at something and tell what the game was immediately. You could look at whatever it is and tell it's this studio. Like that I feel is kind of getting lost with how game development is. And it could be, like you said, assets, whatever, saving where you can and getting stuff out the door. But I feel like there's an identity that's slowly being kind of squeezed out from newer titles. And you even see it with like Battlefield. People are like, oh, it's emotionless, or it's grounds, or we don't want these crazy skins that give us mute everything. Like, I don't know. It's a weird give and take that people are trying to find a sweet spot for.
Yeah, the identity is good. Yeah. I don't know. You're losing that art of figuring out how to get your thing to run on a thing. Hey, this is the only tech we have. This is the best we have. How do we make it work? How do we get this cinematic feel? And you do things and you get quirky little games that are really, really good, but they are emblems of their time that, they only can run the way they run because they were forced to be made in those conditions. Now, everything's on Unreal 5. Anything's on these wide open source platforms that can do anything you want it to do. And then all of a sudden, everything looks samey. Well, we'll see where that goes. Yeah, Xbox is seemingly going full bore with Unreal 5.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Unreal 5, I did tie back to Outer Worlds 2 before leaving it. It is something I would say if you're a stickler for graphics and bug issues and stuff, maybe hold off on Outer Worlds 2. I've seen a lot of discussion about performance and stuff, which at first I personally wasn't seeing, but it felt like the more I was putting in, whether it's a memory issue or whatever, but open world areas, patches of grass and stuff stutter really hard. Like they'll be moving with the wind, kind of what you would expect, but then sharply jump back to the other direction and go back over. Like the ground's moving in a weird way. So I'm having weird bugs like that. Maybe wait for a patch if that comes through, but it seems to be more of a PC issue I've seen. Not a lot of people on console talking about it, which makes sense. But
that makes sense. Yeah. No, I'm excited to get back to it at some point. There'll be a time where it's like, hell yeah, let me re-roll another character just to start fresh and go for it. I'm hoping then it sticks.
Do you have any fear now of trying to get back to that and thinking of if what predictions are like major releases from Xbox, Fable should be one of the next ones up, doing another huge open world fantasy RPG if that has any effect on what you're expecting? Like,
I don't think so, because this is so specific, and with Fable being Playground, and this is their first non-racing game, right?
Yeah.
So, like, what the hell does that transition look like going from a 10 after 10 after 10 game, rated games, game of the year contenders, to doing in Fable? So yeah, no, it's totally different to me. If they were like using Unreal 5 and announced they're partnering with their other studios like Obsidian, then that would start to creep in. I know they are sharing resources and tech and ideas and resources like that across studios, but yeah, it would take more for me to be worried. I just have questions on Fable. None bad yet. I just want to know. I just want to know.
Would be next month at the Game Awards. Give us a new trailer. Give us a big reveal.
And then Dev Direct.
Yep. He's so good.
Oh man, it's gonna be good.
Jeff's posted all this stuff like, "Oh, Game Awards coming up. Set reminders." I'm like, hype trends starting up, getting started.
I looked at tickets. The cheapest get in for me that I found was $236, baby.
Holy shit!
And that is not resale. That was not a resale ticket. But wild.
You're gonna see probably Imagine Dragons again because they've been gone for like 2 years, so it's their time to come back.
Oh, who did the other song? Who did the big?
Osier was
has it not been
2 years ago.
Halsey.
I forget who was last year.
Check. She'll do On the Beach.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Death Stranding 2, we'll get there. I don't know if there's any other like big artists and big songs from this year.
Yeah. $236, you can go. That's wild.
No, thank you. Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, I hope we see more.
Moving in to our other topic for the show. Maybe a short one this week. Mouse heads killing him, getting the headache coming on, so we'll get him out of here kind of fast. The internet trend. Everyone's doing 10 games to get to know us. What a challenge. So many different ways to take this. Like I said, I had mine. I had like a solid like 4 that were consistently there, but the other ones I've rotated out so many times throughout the week thinking about this and how to approach it. Because you do it as just a 10 favorite sort of thing, or do you do a mix of stuff that had like emotional connections or stuff that kind of like sent you on a trajectory going forward. So mine ended up being kind of a hodgepodge mix of a little bit of everything for me.
Oh, yep. Am I not? Did you go more meaningful? More? What did you go? Like, how did you?
Looking at
how did you formulate? What was your? What's the word of not by hypothesis? What was your thesis with this?
Yeah, no, it's words. Some meaningful, some like.
Got it.
I would say like not groundbreaking, but like these games like have either had an impact or still are making an impact years later, like still a part of my day-to-day life schedule. Not League of Legends. Some of them, 2 of them are kind of more emotional things that are like nostalgic memories. And then there are a few, I think 2 probably that are just in my top favorite games. Like it's really just kind of a little bit of this, a little bit of that, because there was times where one of them kind of was an all-encompassing of like 3 other ones that were on there. I was like, this is a better representation of that. I'll take these other ones out, try and fill in space there, put in different things, which maybe not the best move for some representations, but it worked out.
Thank you. Yeah, that kind of similar. I think it's I had a lot of franchises that came up for me where I was like, I can't choose one because then this one later does that I really like that's better. But then that was the start. So for some, I got it boiled down. But it really is for me like eras of my life that I think I was able to pinpoint as the meaningful games around that. And then stuff I've sunk so much time into. There's some that are in there because they time sinks.
See, yours is something that like I was trying in my head like what you would have on yours, and I was at like 3 max I could figure out, which like for mine I'm like I feel like if I gave you enough time you could probably get the 10 for me, but with yours it's
probably
I don't know, it just doesn't come up as much, but like the history of Kyle.
Oh, it definitely is kind of more about like definitely is that. Yep.
That's where I was like, where we want to start? Do you want to start? Do you want to put mine up since mine is easier, fast?
Either way, yeah. I think if you want to talk through yours, go for it.
Yeah. put mine up here, go through it. Let me make sure this is still set in good parameters. Very stretched out the way I did this. But we got Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Starting off, Viva Pinata is up here with Kingdom Hearts, Sly Cooper 2, Band of Thieves, Stardew Valley, Halo 3, World of Warcraft, Banjo, obviously, gonna be there, Bioshock 2, and Pokemon Gold was where I finally kind of topped out at, where this is not fully stretched out, but it's there. World of Warcraft is the one where it was like, this has been 20 years of my life almost. Like, I've been there since vanilla. I remember and can like vividly tell you the Wednesday and the rainy weather it was when I went to Walmart to pick that up, like the drive back. Like, that is a core memory burned into my mind. Obviously gonna be there. Halo 3 was really my second major journey into that 360 generation in online gaming. Another thing where I remember, like, I was a dumb kid. I didn't know how to get Xbox Live set up, where I had to like have my mom call her internet people to come hook my Xbox up for me to get connected. And I remember like they sat there and watched me play my first Halo 3 match on Construct Team Deathmatch. I won like 2-14, terrible. But still, it's like something that like I can still vividly think back on. And Halo 3 to me is still the best of that franchise, best of multiplayer gaming. And I mentioned it here a couple times, like every multiplayer game I play now, I still put up against Halo 3 as far as meaningfulness and how good games are, and just that is the bar for me of what I play. Stardew Valley was the one where I had a couple different things here at one point, and really represents me as a kid and kind of like a reality or an extension of this podcast, even of wanting to like share my thoughts and passion for games. Through like kindergarten through 7th grade, I spent every single weekend at my grandparents' house. They'd pick me up from school on Friday night, and I would go and I'd rent 2 video games. And more often than not, one of those games was Harvest Moon 64, and my grandma would sit and watch me all Friday night asking questions and like wanting to learn about it. And like Stardew Valley, when I played that the first time, now that's almost a decade old, like that is something I wish I could have shared with her instead of Harvest Moon. Like, that would have been such a great thing for me, and like me wanting to share those thoughts. Hey, look at this, look what you can do. And it's a farming game. Like, that was something she was into and was able to like mentally think about and was like interested in, or was asking me questions on. Like Stardew Valley, when that came out, I think that was 3 months of my life gone on Xbox. Like, that's all I played. I have hundreds of hours in that. Just haven't beaten it. Probably rolled credits to some extent, but with the constant updates they've done to it, what a game. What else? Viva Pinata is the one, my first true 360 experience. Kind of a meme answer. I got my 360 was like a bundle thing with my mom got a TV, and I got the shitty arcade 360 that had no storage and a demo disc. But on that demo disc was the demo for Viva Pinata, and I did an all-nighter that first night on just the demo disc of this game, and it was one of the first games I saved up money to buy. And that was coming off of PS2 again, like thinking of playing Viva Pinata back in those days, and you have like the 360 music library that you could burn songs and discs on your console and play in the background, and the social aspect, and like the 4-party chats, you can just have a private chat with one other person, like playing Viva Pinata with a friend or whatever, like just talking about what we're doing. Such a great game. I'm a rare fanboy again, but Viva Pinata is like that early 360 generation for me. Killer. Loved it. One of my favorite completions.
I've never touched Viva Pinata. I honestly don't know what the gameplay even is. It's fascinating, right?
You're making
like,
a garden.
This is something that you had such good core memories, and I'm like, never even touched it. Hardly. I couldn't describe what you're doing outside of it's a party game, I guess.
Not a party game. That's the thing. Like,
and what the
It is
like, see, I don't know.
the beautiful thing of like snowballing checkboxes. You start with your little plot of land covered in garbage, take all the garbage out, turn the dirt to soil, plant some grass. You get X amount of grass, you get your first pinata coming to check it out. If you get whatever their other criteria are checked off, they'll become a resident. Having that pinata causes this other one who likes to eat that one come in, get their thing, and then you can have them get two of the same ones, make them fall in love and have a baby, and they do a weird little sexy dance with each other. Sounds weird. It's rated E for kids.
Oh, it makes weird.
It's rated E for kids.
They do a sexy dance and it's rated E for kids.
It is. It's wild time.
Weird.
You get an egg and they get the babies, and it's like just a wild thing. You feed them certain seeds or flowers and they can turn colors, and those are like a rare find. You got to get those. You get the snakes, Kyle. You have the snake eggs, and when the egg is bouncing about to hatch, if you hit it with a hammer or with your shovel, the egg hatches into a two-headed snake because it's like deformed. But then if you do that again with the two-headed snake's baby, it becomes a four-headed snake. So many pathways to go down. So good. Second one dropped the ball a lot, and then there was the party game one. But the first Viva Pinata, what a time.
How has there not been more? That sounds cool.
I've said
as a core concept, like that first core concept, that does sound pretty cool. But if they fumbled the thing, that's a bummer.
I told you, live service Viva Pinata a la Animal Crossing right now would do gangbusters.
Honestly, I think you could put money on that, and it's not the worst bet.
No, it's not, but it's not going to happen.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oblivion was, before I got my 360, my best friend since preschool had Oblivion, and just staying nights at his house, learning and seeing him play, and what that RPG could do. Again, coming from PS2 generation, where I'm playing stuff like Sly Cooper, very linear single player experiences, level based, and then being thrown into an open world like World of Warcraft for the first time on console, and the endless possibilities at the time, and these quests and these hidden things, and if you kill somebody and someone will come talk to you at night to join the Dark Brotherhood, and the Thieves Guild is the sneaky thing you gotta like try and work your way into and do these trials to get in, like eye-opening of what games could be going forward. Again, that 360 generation was such a major time for me, and that was like the defining, this is what the future could be. And it carried through with Skyrim. I remember getting Skyrim midnight launch. Two guys I worked with at the time and one of my best friends set up in my mom's living room, 4 TVs, like in a circle playing Skyrim together for 3 days. Fucking journey, my guy. But still, didn't live up to Oblivion. Oblivion's just that nostalgic thing, and having the remaster this year, being able to revisit that. Over time, I'm not as hardcore into it as I was before, like not mainlining it, but I hop back every couple days or so. Knock out a quest just to see. What?
Oh, nothing. You just.
Sly 2. One of the 2 PS2 representations on here. This is just nostalgia. I put too many hours on this game to count this, along with Kingdom Hearts 1. Kingdom Hearts 1, I remember I rented before I had it, and I hid that game in my room for a week so my mom couldn't find it to return it. And we ran up such a like late fee bill at the local game rental store that cool teenager working there just wiped it for us, and she just ended up buying me my own copy because I refused to give it back. Like, I was so addicted to that game. Somewhere behind me in the haunted room, I have my original PS2 memory card with 100% Sly 2 save data and a maxed out 999 hour Kingdom Hearts 2 save data on there. Like, those were my choices as a kid. I've played through Sly 2 countless times. I can't even begin to tell you how many times. Just starting a new save file, 100%ing, start over again, 100%ing. Like, that was my crack. BioShock 2. That's a BioShock, dude. Half my legs dedicated to it on the back half. 2 still my favorite. Talked about it before. Minerva's Den DLC. One of my favorite pieces of gaming media ever. Still brings a tear to my eye. One of the most emotional stories. Gameplay so much better refined than the first game. Multiplayer was killer. Thinking back to grinding out the multiplayer achievements for BioShock 2 back in the day, was around the time one of my favorite bands, Amberlin, released their album Dark as a Way, Light as a Place. And those things to me are just so tied hand in hand together, where each song on that album represents a level or a part of that game. And if I hear the song, I think of the game. And if I'm playing through the game, I think of the song. Like having that emotional connection tied between two different media forms that just fit tonally and theatrically almost. Then I had to have a Pokemon Gold. I still allegedly play Pokemon Gold in certain ways. Allegedly. Espeon tattoo on my leg from second generation. I think most people as a kid back then, when you started Gen 2, you beat it initially, and then they're like, hey, jokes, bitch. You get to play through the entirety of the first games almost and redo that journey again and like kind of fight your character from Red and Blue at the end. Like, what a twist. That one of the most unexpected, like, epic Avengers type moments that you could have back then. And on a Game Boy Color, come on. Just great.
Wow.
What a time. That's fine. Like I said, most of them you probably could have figured out. Like I said, it's the BioShock.
Yeah, I think so.
The World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I think it's like the Viva, the Sly, the Stardew. Did not know. Honestly, I probably would have said you haven't touched that.
Oh.
I missed that you. Yeah, we don't talk about that. We haven't talked about it. It hasn't come up. But yeah, so that was Viva and could have eventually guessed, but yeah, Stardew was the surprise out of that list. I love it.
Stardew Valley, I wish if I was financially stable, the Stardew Orchestra was in Minneapolis like 2 days before my birthday last month.
Oh,
fucking one of my biggest regrets. I almost put that on a credit card. Like that would have been so great.
Damn. Yeah, I should have. Easy to say that now.
Yeah, like I said, it's a mix of a couple like emotional things, personal favorites. I didn't want it to be just my top 10 favorite games, so that's a different conversation entirely and like a breakdown. But I still, it's that nostalgic thing. I think of Halo 3 and like it like triggers that thing in your brain where like certain smells and like moments specifically like hit you. Like it's a weird feeling, but
no, that comes up in my list.
Moving on to yours. Gotta take a minute to see. I had two of my three guesses show up. Oh, I gotta redo this. Let me fix the video feed.
I'm all delayed on video too. Yeah, what were your 2 out of 10 that you
Destiny obviously was gonna be there.
Obviously.
And then I figured there would be a Madden. Assuming there would be a Madden.
Yeah, that's the one I just said franchise. It's just Madden. The number, come on. I'm not that into it. It's not that type of, I don't have a favorite one. Yeah, here's the list. We got Destiny 2. This is in no order, but kind of almost it's stacked in a tier almost. Destiny 2, Fallout 4, Quantum Break, Red Dead Redemption 2, Halo 3 ODST, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, God of War 2018, Madden, the just franchise, Guitar Hero 3, Legends of Rock, and Civilization 6. Those are the 10 games for me. I want to ask you, which one do you want to hear about first?
Quantum Break.
Then I'll start.
Just because before I started the podcast, I replayed that game in its entirety for the 100% for a different outing I was trying. Like that is still kind of fresh in my mind. And out of all the Remedy games, Christ.
What?
Was it out of all the Remedy games like that? I'm surprised to see instead of like a Control, which a more popular answer I would say.
I was gonna go with both. I was struggling between the two, but I got to go to the one that got me into Remedy and made me say, "Oh shit, Remedy logo. What's this game? And then it turns out it's Control. So I had to lean on one. The biggest qualms with Quantum Break is the 30-minute TV shows they make you watch. And sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't in terms of pacing. Other than that, what an experience for me too. When it came out, I'm like not talking to many people who are gaming. So this is a pretty individual thing. I'm like, this is cool. I kind of want to get this. I kind of want to buy it. So eventually I'm able to rent it from Redbox, and the download, like what a journey that was, downloading datas, and the internet was slow, and I'm downloading these episodes of TV. I'm just, is this gonna be something worth it? And yeah, it was. Just the whole actors and storytelling mixed with in the game, mixed with the story, like live action component. Like it's a off the wall idea to do with a video game, and people will say it's probably not successful. I think hell yeah, it's awesome. Like what a cool concept, and you did it. Like, and they definitely learned from Quantum Break. Now currently playing Alan Wake 2 on stream. They have learned tremendously from like the pacing of Quantum Break to what they're doing in Alan Wake 2, mixing the live action with the video game stuff. Just super cool. The whole story with the time mixing and the distortion and switching those realities, it just felt cool. I felt like I was playing something totally unique and special, as like I felt like it was kind of getting shit on. And I was like, but it's good. Like, sure, you don't want to sit and watch TV after playing games for 30 minutes, but that's what this is. Like, so don't be like, hey, you're just, those critiques never got there to me. So I love this game. The act that Sean Ashmore is in Alan Wake 2, and his name is Tim Breaker. Come on, man, it's time. It's just so, I love Remedy. And it's cool to be like, I'm going to play this game because I think it looks cool, Quantum Break. And now years later, playing Alan Wake and just having that, like, oh, what? And it's like, oh, I want to now play Quantum Break again for no damn reason, just because it's cool. So, yeah, that fun experience definitely holds up more meaningful stuff. But also the game was good.
I'm putting an asterisk on it, Quantum Break. I feel that is a game like people need to play still. If you play it nowadays, you can't watch the episodes in the game. You have to like pull them up on YouTube between like where they would be and find them. They're no longer a part of the download anymore. Like if you are going to find this game and want to play it, do that experience. Find whatever route you pick because it gives you the split path. Find the episode on YouTube. It's 20-30 minutes each one. Like so worth it.
I wonder if I could stream that and like show the YouTube video on stream, or will they yell at me because it's a YouTube video? Because if I play the game and then hop to the YouTube video like I did back in the day, am I gonna get yelled at? Or can I do that?
Reaction commentary, just say some stuff in between every couple scenes.
Yeah, but if it's like also in between gameplay, we'll figure it out. Anyways, that's a side tangent thing. That's unfortunate, but I understand why they also made that the reality where there's not a TV show in there. Yeah. I bet there's licensing. Anyways. I can talk quickly about Madden. It's a game yearly buy. It got me into football. It taught me football, and then I played football, and it's just my relaxing game. I can go back. I don't go back to a specific year, but it's just a great time. And now I have the most recent one on my Switch, and it is that experience of, I don't know what to play. I have 30 minutes, maybe an hour. I don't want to put thought and effort in something right now. Let me pull up my franchise in Madden. Let me rock it. Let me just have some fun and play some games. And that's what I do. And it runs great on the Switch, which is awesome. And it's a franchise that literally has been through me my whole life and probably will. Actually, who knows? EA is really weird. I might have bought my last Madden.
India's taken over, or Saudi Arabia.
Well, yeah, and AI. Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock. I mean, that's the first one that I got. I remember opening it up. I think it was Christmas, if I remember. Childhood memories blur and are forgotten. opening up, we're playing Barracuda, Black Magic Woman, what's the other one? I said Barracuda. Yeah, and it's just that was the first time doing it, and ever since, like, got didn't do all the expansions for it, but just put so much time into Guitar Hero 3, and it again led me to getting Rock Band and all the other ones, and ultimately like getting a guitar and playing guitar for a good chunk of my life, like a good part of the decade where I worked. Part of my job was playing music twice a day for people, so it was playing guitar at times, and that definitely was influenced by Guitar Hero 3, and it's something I go back to. I still have that Stratocaster guitar that we bought at GameStop used because we bought Legends of Rock and it came with one, but my brother needed a guitar, so we got this one used. So we had two guitars and we still have that one. It's just, God, the soundtrack also was so good on Guitar Hero 3. The guitar battles too, where you're battling Tom Morello and different Slash, and then you battle the devil. The devil went down to Georgia. It's just beyond just playing Rock Band or playing Guitar Hero. Like the gameplay and the experience itself in Legends of Rock was so fucking good, especially with my brother, because they had guitar battles and you were hitting notes and getting power-ups and fucking up the other person by twisting their fretboard backwards, making the notes disappear, changing the colors. It's just, what a cool freaking idea that's just gone now. Yeah, love that specific Guitar Hero for sure.
That Guitar Hero 3 was almost on mine. It was on a representation of mine, to a point where, like, playing that game in my house convinced my parents some reason to get me a bass guitar for Christmas one year. So I had a BC Rich Warlock hanging out that I could, like, somewhat walk my way around. Don't have it anymore, but what a game.
There's a whole generation of people who picked up guitars because of the game or basses. And they either continued or they are lost. Love it. Civilization 6 can be a quick one. It's a time sink. I played Civ Revolution on the 360. That was my first time playing a Civ game. I was like, whoa, this is so cool. And then wanted a PC to play 5, and then played a little bit of 5, but 6 was the one I put a lot of time into. And it's like Madden. When I was more editing and doing more graphic work for my job, it was an easy thing as something rendered to do a couple turns in Civilization, but also late at night, just click and watch a movie. You just gotta make decisions, click, 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 and then next turn, let things go. It's just, for me, very peaceful. I'm not playing the high difficulty, high tactical type thing. It's more of a, let me try to get into some scenarios and have some fun. The God of War 2018, probably my only and my favorite. Not my only, I played other, but my favorite PlayStation game. It's probably one of the only ones, one of the few I've played and beaten. I bought a PS4 for this, ended up beating God of War while working a week of work. It also, where I was alone working the job. We were just kind of overworked, but I was able to come back from my shift, go into the room I had, nice little dark cabin, nice wood cabin. I closed the windows off so it's nice and dark. I just play God of War. Then I go lifeguard, come back, play. Go help with the meal service, come back and play. I ended up beating this game, and it also coincided with the end of a relationship, and that was like years long. So just the story, the circumstances, it just still like I don't know. The whole game gets to me. Going on to like Ragnarok and Valhalla, the whole trilogy just really holds a special place to me. There's a lot of lessons that I've learned and I need to hold on to more from that game, and like it's just really, really, really special. Especially that just when I beat it and that moment, and then like, oh shit, all right, well I have to go lifeguard now. There's nothing better than beating that game. Yup. And just like, all right. And then the people working like, you good? I'm like, yeah, I just beat a game and I'm okay. Just okay. But yeah. And then, yeah, just that's great. great little experience. And to have not played any of the God of Wars, to then jump into this story and to see it through to all the way through Valhalla, really unique for me, right? All Xbox guy, jumped in for God of War. Now I don't even have a PlayStation. Really, really weird circumstances, and it just is so damn special to me. Moving on, Halo 3 ODST, almost Halo 3 for me, almost. But Halo 3 was me jumping onto the hype, and Halo 3 ODST was me bought in, getting the Game Informer, reading it, being like, what's Halo 3 Recon? What is this? And then like, oh, it's ODST now. Like that was the one that really cemented me as I got Halo books after it, started reading I'm reading the lore, I'm keeping up on it. ODST leading up to it was getting me into Halo and choosing to get into it. And then the game itself, the rainy vibes, the jazz music, for me, that is just a vibe. I love a rainy day, and I've put on jazz music in a rainy day, and it is because of this game. It's just awesome. And then it was cool to get I'm doing stuff in Halo 3, like we're like around these events, like the interconnectedness was another level of it too. Halo, the firefight mode, that was my introduction to more multiplayer stuff. I just still am not a big PvP guy. I have spells, but then I fall off of it. But firefight was I put a lot of time into that there. Love ODST. Did I talk Brotherhood? Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed is another franchise one for me. Assassin's Creed was, what the hell is this? 2 was the Game Informer. But Brotherhood was, I felt like it fully realized what Assassin's Creed can be. You have the Brotherhood, right? Like you have your other assassins with you. You're sending them out to go do stuff. It just felt fully realized, and it kind of peaked at that moment. The CGI trailers and everything, where you're going through the crowd and everyone shows up and you're like, oh, he's all alone, and then no more assassins pop up and you're like, oh, there's more than just you as Ezio. It just was a very, very cool moment. Is this the one? I forget which one you fight the Pope, but the game's woke and I love it. One of them you literally fight the Pope.
Second.
The second one, yeah, okay, that makes more sense. But yeah, this is, again, it's kind of similar to ODST, where this was me like feeling like I'm choosing to be into this. I'm following this. I'm actually like playing the game as opposed to going through it and kind of it happening. You know, this was like my gamer brain awakening to some degree during this time period. And then Red Dead Redemption 2, a masterpiece of a game, a masterpiece of storytelling, a Western. This one gets up here because I ended up revisiting this one constantly due to my job. I ended every Wednesday or every Wednesday, depending on the week, we would do a program called California Trail, where we would pretend we were Western characters and take the students up on the California Trail, simulating the trip from east to west across America. And we would get little Western accents and do little things. It was just goofy. And we taught them California history. But I fell on setup crew, so I'd drive up, set up, get everything ready, and I sometimes would have an hour before I needed to go back up there. So me, in my jeans, my flannel, and a little hat, would go to my house and play Red Dead Redemption 2. And it just really became one of my favorite moments of the week. Definitely should have been probably doing more work some of those days. But you know, I had time, and that's where I was like, man, this game is just really, really, really cool. It's this cinematic nature of it and everything. I just am waiting for a pack for these not next gen consoles, but Series S and Xbox or PlayStation 5, because it still looks good, but ooh, that rumor keeps floating around, and it's due for a remake because just a cool story. Yeah.
I rumor's been around for like a year.
Oh, go for it. I know, but hey, at some point, it's just as weird with Call of GTA 6 was supposed to already be out.
Yeah.
Would they have a Red Dead remake like ready to go so soon? Maybe. I don't know. I doubt it. I just really want it, so I have a reason to replay it because I am now waiting. But yeah, Fallout 4, probably a part of the first E3 that I made sure that I was able to watch. And with my job at the time, working at a summer camp, staff training was usually during E3 week. So being a part of staff, like leading it that time, I was able to like dip out and watch it. And I happened to watch that Fallout 4 announcement stuff. And then it's coming out later. And it was like, perfect. And want to buy. And it's my first Fallout. And it's my favorite Fallout. I just adore it. I spent so much time helping Preston Garvey, helping settlements until I figured out that is just a looping quest that will always repeat. So fuck that part of it. But other than that, I loved it. I think that also is just I don't have many games where I like have that type of relationship / attachment to it where it's like okay, and now I see Preston, I'm like, yeah, I'm not helping you at all. I have not helped any settlement since, and I have this grudge against him, and I love that. Like, it's just a fun little quirk. It's a settlement building is a huge aspect of what kept me in the game, which was new to the series and not a lot of people's favorites, but I hadn't touched a Fallout. So for me, being able to just find a drive-in theater and make that my home base and just have this big area just to build in and then attach all the supply lines to it so I can build anywhere. And then the updates came down with the robots, which was cool. But then the Wasteland Workshop, and I was like, you gave me more things for the settlements. It just was an experience that I felt like I hopped in from the announcement all the way through. And it just is a really, really great time. So many characters. It was the first game I also messed with mods in because they added mods to consoles. And man, running around as the Flash with a lightsaber for 5 minutes before the game crashed was amazing. I was like, this is so cool. I'm in city. I'm in the radiation zone. I'm in the Boston in the water. I'm like everywhere, and then it crashes. It's great.
Was there
just a lot of cool core experiences and memories with Fallout?
Was there any version of this where Starfield was in that spot? Because that was the third one I had pegged for your list.
No.
Oh, damn.
No, because Starfield just it hasn't had that staying power. And the last update, I mean, I still can't places in that save still aren't, it's bonked. I still can't find locations or discover them. So unfortunately, man, that next update for Starfield is going to have a lot on it for me personally. We'll see. But yeah, no, Starfield wasn't even a thought.
Wow.
Yeah, but Bethesda was. So, you're right in a way. But final, Destiny 2. A game that I put so many hours in that started with Destiny in the beta and carried on to Destiny 2 starting a new account because it moved to PC and that's where my friends were. And then again, they did cross save and cross progression. So now I have it on Xbox again. It's my World of Warcraft. It is Bungie in their top form for some moments. And yeah, just 3,000, I think close to 3,000 hours when I'm counting Xbox, into this game. And I'm not a hardcore player. I'm not raiding. I'm not doing every single bit of content, but it is just a tight shooter with a really deep story and lore that I hope they can figure out, because it's going to end with a wet fart if they can't figure it out, and that sucks.
I appreciate the full circle sort of moment with ODST being on here and then Destiny 2. Like the teases in that game, then years later now, like Destiny 2 being such a major part for you.
Yeah, that's really true. Huh. I hadn't connected those dots. Bungie's last. And now, I'm even following what's coming next potentially with Marathon coming off of the open test in April that I'm talking about specifically. I'm anxiously waiting for more news on that. So it'll be interesting to see if it's like I just keep with Bungie as a casual guy.
Good. I love it. I love the list. Do you have any things and honorable shout outs you want to throw out that didn't make it before we sign off?
I was thinking Roller Coaster Tycoon was around for a little bit because I got it on Steam. I had it on PC like before Steam, you know. I got it on my phone. And I was like, do I go that direction? I was like, nah, I don't think that's the vibe of this list, but something like that. And that's where Civilization jumped in. I was like, oh no, that makes a little more sense for what this is and how I play games as well. Like, I love me just a brainless game.
Half of what I play.
Yep.
No, there was there was a version of mine. Smite almost made it on my list, just because the Xbox One generation. Like, we had a solid core group of 5 that we were on religiously playing ranked. My buddy I watched play Oblivion back in the day on console was like the number 12th ranked Scylla in the world. Like, we were f***ing in. We were zoned in to a point. One of our guys, Dan from Florida, now lives in my town, moved up here, and like has a job and girlfriend. And, like, just because we bet him on Smite, like, great time. Like I said,
it's crazy.
Harvest Moon 64 almost took the place of Stardew. Yeah, whatever. Trying to think. Like I said, Guitar Hero almost made it on mine. I think that's pretty.
I was thinking through Nintendo games and nothing truly stuck out for me. Like, that was a lacking thing for me. I was like, is there anything? And nothing for Nintendo that I put on there.
That Nintendo.
If I stretched it to maybe a 15 to 20 game, maybe Double Dash could be on there, because I played like a ton of that. Like, I had a GameCube, and that was like my Mario Kart until I had a Wii, and I didn't like the Wii that much.
Yeah. No, Nintendo hinges so much on nostalgia for me. Like Pokemon, Game Boy Color, Smash 64 was almost on here. But like GameCube I skipped, Wii I pretty much skipped, Wii U I had for a little bit. Like, Nintendo's purely nostalgia purposes for me. But
I did think Tomb Raider for a little bit. Tomb Raider was it. Yeah, the Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider is the first game I bought on my Xbox for my owned library. But I got in that series due to Conan O'Brien. He did that Clueless Gamer, and he played that game, and I thought it was really funny. So I bought it, and then I really liked it, and I ended up playing the whole. I don't think I beat the third one. Yeah. But I almost put that because, like, that introduction into like more storytelling, more story-based gaming, I was like, oh, maybe. But I think that was better expressed with other games on my list. But I still see them. I'm like, man, I need to play that third. I need to play Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
That's where I'm at. I played the first two. I haven't touched the third one yet.
Man, let's just do it.
Do it. Video game book club.
Let's do it. Let's beat it and do a full review.
Last two on mine, which this list could have been almost an entirely rare list. Sea of Thieves was almost on here. Again, I've been one of the first games surprising. That, like, I was participating in the alpha testing through beta. I was there on launch through the rough times. Similar with your story, when I moved back from Michigan and post-relationship, staying at my dad's for a month in the basement, where I literally fucking, in my depressive state, woke up at 7, played with a guy down in Arizona who was a tattoo artist, and we would play all day with the stepson till like 10 p.m. and we would go to bed and get up the next day because there was like start of COVID time, so everyone was home. Like, for a month, that was my life, and still just hopping on regularly. I have a picture upstairs they had on the Rare store that's got like a couple thousand in-game images to recreate the logo that I have a picture on there somewhere. Never found it yet, but like having a part of that. And then Killer Instinct was almost on here. One of the first games I remember having a memory of on Super Nintendo and having vivid memories of it. And then that E3 with Xbox One where they re-revealed it and that music kicked on and it like flipped a switch in my brain. I'm like, that's the fucking game I used to play without realizing what it was. Like, that, the full circle moment from being a kid to nowadays and current generation times being there still. And still one of the only fighting games pat myself on the back. I'm good at ish. I have a couple characters. They have like ranked wins, need 20 of them online for achievements. I have a bunch of those knocked out. Like I was competing, and that's part of the game having a really good tutorial and like easing you into it and showing you. But flashy, the music, the art style, the nostalgia for the old games. Killer Instinct was almost on here. I just love Rare.
That makes sense. What's the new game coming out that has Killer Instinct devs? Is that
That's the Invincible fighting game.
it's okay? Do you have interest in that because of the devs, or are you like,
Not really.
We'll
I've
see
not
when we'll-
watched a single episode of Invincible yet, so I'm not committed
Okay.
at all. It's one of the shows I have to get to, but
yeah, once they do that next season, it's soonish. It'd be worth it hopping in and trying because it is a good show. Good show.
I need more shows. I finished What We Do in the Shadows, so I need to replace that with something now.
That's a good show too. That's a good show too.
Last season fell off, but with that,
That is true. Just like this episode has fallen off.
yeah, this will be ending us off episode 89 of the Download Queue. This was fun. If you have your
That's
own
crazy.
list, share them in the comments. Share them to us on Twitter. I'd like scrolling through and just liking everyone's I see because just the variety and reasoning behind stuff. Yeah, I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
know.
for sure.
Don't know what next week brings. I have an inkling this week is going to be a major news story with Xbox. Don't know why, but it's there, and I feel like it's going to be a new doom and gloom again. So let's hope not.
Yeah.
Andy Richter
We'll
still in
see.
Dancing with the Stars. Vote for him on Tuesday. We got him through another week. I about shit. It's a great meme at this point. We love him. Vote again. Kyle, what are you doing this week?
Playing more Alan Wake on stream. Working our way through that game. Good game. Finally got to the good part that they performed at the Game Awards. So
did
had
you?
that
Nice.
spoiled, but I had the context was there, and it's just such good. You knew what was gonna happen, and it's just so damn good. Combat's getting better, figuring it out, so I'm not getting as frustrated. Some of those games can get frustrating. It's not. I'm like, all right. I don't feel like I'm in mud too much. So having fun with that, and then playing more Arc Raiders. Dude, I'm all in on extraction genre. Gonna be playing this fully just to be able to compare later on. And yeah, still pretty early-ish, level 6-ish, but played solo, played separate, or that's the same thing. Played solo, grouped up with people. It's an incredibly accessible game, and it's incredibly like PvE focus, player versus enemy thing, as opposed to PvP. I've had multiple instances in solo games and games with random squads where through prox chat we've been like, hey, like leave us alone, like stop, and we can chill, and they've helped or just walked away and we've gone our separate ways. It's just a fascinating thing, and it's fun as well so far. So we'll be doing that on stream as well between Alan Wake stuff.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Talk about that next week, probably. Get you some more time in on the game. Till then,
Definitely.
this episode will be going live YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, everywhere, Monday morning, November 3rd. If you're following us on those places, drop us a like, comment, follow, share us around, helps us out in the long run. Till next week, same time, same place. Stay safe, be good, happy gaming.